Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode all those long corporate filings so you don't have to. Ever wonder what happens after a big hotel chain buys another company? Spoiler alert, it involves a lot of legal paperwork and financial juggling. Before we start, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where you can discuss these filings with other investors. Okay, today we are diving into a recent report from Hyatt Hotels Corporation. The main point, they bought Playa hotels and resorts. Think of it as Hyatt adding a bunch of all-inclusive resorts to their portfolio. This report tells us how it happened, what it means for Playa's old shareholders and employees, and how Hyatt paid for it all. Hyatt officially entered into an agreement to purchase Playa hotels. Playa is organised under Dutch law, but don't worry too much about the Dutch law stuff. The important takeaway is Hyatt wanted all of Playa's shares. Each share cost Hyatt $13.50 in cash. It's like saying, I'll give you this much money for this company. The offer to purchase is just the fancy name for that offer. This offer was up for grabs until June 9, 2025. By then, people owning around 83% of Playa agreed to sell. Hyatt already owned around 10% before this offer, so Hyatt had good reason to believe the acquisition would happen. When a company gets bought, what happens to the employee stock options? In Playa's case, for people that were not top executives as well as people who already left their positions, their stock options immediately turned into cash. But what about the top executives and essential people who will continue to work at Hyatt? Their stock options turned into Hyatt stock options and will mostly remain the same. Also, there is something about getting fired. Let's see. It looks like the acquiring company are giving extra benefits to Playa employees by saying that if they are fired, they get their stock options. So if they are fired without a good reason in approximately the next 2 years, they get to keep all of their stock options, which will now be in Hyatt stock, or otherwise accelerated at 12 months. How did Hyatt pay for this acquisition? By borrowing $1.7 billion. Basically, Hyatt took out a huge loan to make this deal happen. This type of loan is often used for big acquisitions. The loan's interest rate depends on how good Hyatt's credit rating is, but that's a pretty standard thing. So the deal is done and released. It's pretty standard when these acquisitions happen. So what are the risks? Well, one risk is that Hyatt may not be able to keep all the key employees from Playa. Think about it from the employee's perspective. The success of merging the two companies together also depends on keeping good relationships with Playa's old partners. Hyatt also needs to make sure that it can keep up its financial reporting systems. There is the signature of Joan Botterini, the Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer, who signs off on the acquisition. Now let's step back and ask, what does all this really mean? And what is my opinion about this filing mean? From Hyatt's point of view, acquiring Playa expands Hyatt into the all-inclusive resort market. This helps Hyatt appeal to a broader range of travelers, since they can now offer more exotic locations as well as standard Hyatt hotel locations. But there is also a risk. Remember that Hyatt took on a significant amount of debt to finance this. While Hyatt is a large company and should be able to handle such debt just fine, this will still need to be watched. Integrating Playa's operations into Hyatt's could also present challenges. They have to merge two different company cultures into one, and so make sure they're working efficiently together without problems. Overall, this acquisition looks like a good strategic move for Hyatt, but it comes with financial and operational risks that Hyatt will need to manage carefully. Alright, that's our breakdown of Hyatt's latest report. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.